All right, y'all, I got a quick little window tinting tip for y'all. So I've had a few people ask me in the past, how do you tint this quarter window? If you've tinted windows in the past, or if you've attempted to tint windows, you have this type of vehicle. This is a Ford Fusion, same for the Mercury Milan and the Lincoln Zephyr, I think it is. You know that you have to tint all the way up here, but you got this black rubber seal that stops a lot of the way through the window, and it's kind of tricky to get the tint up in there. So I'm gonna show you how to tint this window without removing it off the car. All right, so the first thing I do for these windows, and I do this as soon as I pull the car in, is I stuff it with some hard cards. It can be any shape or size, and what I like to do is spray it a little to make it easier to get it up in there. But you just get one part in there, shove it in there, get it all the way up there to the top corner. Probably should use a different color so you can see it better, but you get the point. And then I'm gonna stuff another one back there. That's kind of too big. Let's use this one. Get it all the way back there. I'm gonna get one more like that. One more in there nice and tight. And that's gonna open that seal up for a little. All right, the next part is cutting the film out. Now pay attention to how we do this. Now, because we are cutting for both the driver and passenger side, I'm going to double layer this. I have it folded over right now. So we're gonna start by just locking it in place just a bit. We're gonna cut off this excess film. I'm gonna start with cutting the bottom edge, like we would in the other window, from one side to the other. Rip off the excess. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing for the front edge. Cut it and rip off the excess, just like we would in the other vehicle. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shift it to the left about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm gonna shift it down about 1/8 of an inch. So come this way a bit, and then come down a bit. Now these movements are so small you may not have seen it, but it did happen. And then we're going to lock it in place. Now for this part, I like to break off another fresh blade, a little bit of blade out, and we're gonna start all the way up here in the corner, and we're just gonna trace around that last edge. If you have to, turn your body while you cut. It actually makes a difference. Rip off the excess. And now the last thing we have to do is trim up the edges. Now, the way we trim the edges is very important. We want to make sure there are no odd shapes or uneven surfaces or edges, I want to say. And every corner has to be rounded out. And I'll show you later in the video why. And smooth around those corners. And the most important one that we want to be smooth on is this top one. And cut that just like that. And then rotate this way. And you want to just trace your blade right around your finger. So that's how you want it to be, nice and round around the edges. All right, so I'm gonna do the install on this side of the car just because the lighting is better over here. But you wanna start with taking out all of your hard cards. Duh. Set those aside. Gonna spray the window and clean it like normal with our scrubby pad. Get every square inch nice and good. Now, of course, the scrubby pad is not gonna fit back there. So what we do is we get another hard card, stick it up in there, get it open, and spray and go along. I'm gonna do that a few times just to get the water up in there. And now you see it's nice and lubricated back there. Do that a few times. Then we're gonna feel for any dirt and debris that we may have to hit with a razor. I'm gonna go along this edge a little bit just to clean anything that might be wedged up in there. And then we're gonna scrub off all the dirty water and wipe that perimeter. Just like that. Do it until all the water is gone. Now, this is the part where those round edges come into play. It's gonna be a lot easier to slide this round edge and slide it up in there rather than if that edge was pointy, which is why it's important that there are no sharp edges. I'm gonna peel the liner all the way off, spray it up nice and good. And then I'm gonna come over and we're gonna start with this back side and just start to slide it in there. We're gonna press on the glass a little. Get it back. Back. You gotta be gentle and not crease the film. And we're gonna get this top part in there. And that is that. Now, when doing this, it definitely matters how slippery a solution is, because if you don't have enough soap, it's going to be really hard to slide that film up in there. So now, just squeegee out the water like normal. Oh, gotta come back a little. Just a little bit. And then we're gonna come by with a rather thin hard card, and we're gonna just push this water out the best we can. Keep checking. Sometimes you got to do it a few times, a few passes to get all the water out, but you'll get it eventually. And that there's how you make that happen. I'm gonna do it one more time for the other side without me explaining it, just so you can see it one more time. And that is how you make this happen. Perfect, without any removal.